Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they try to change their life the wrong way. They think they need a massive burst of motivation, a life-altering event to finally get things right. But there's a book that explains why motivation is completely unreliable and reveals what actually works instead. If you've ever felt stuck in a cycle of starting and stopping, this will change everything for you. You've probably tried to build good habits before, right? We've all been there. You decide you're going to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. You're going to hit the gym 5 times a week, no excuses. You're going to read a book every week and finally learn that new language. And it always starts with this incredible surge of energy. For the first few days, maybe even a couple of weeks, you feel unstoppable. You're on top of the world, but then life happens. You have a long day at work. You feel a little tired. You hit the snooze button just once. You tell yourself you'll go to the gym tomorrow. And before you know it, that perfect routine completely collapses. Everything goes back to the way it was. You're left feeling disappointed, frustrated, and maybe even a little ashamed. You start thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just stick with it? Maybe I just don't have enough willpower. Here's the truth. You don't quit because you're weak. You quit because your system is broken. The entire approach you've been taught about building habits is fundamentally flawed. And that is the powerful central idea behind one of the most transformative books of our time, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, this book is not about those huge, dramatic, overnight transformations you see in movies. It's not about finding some magical source of endless motivation. It's about the exact opposite. It's about small, seemingly insignificant actions, atomic habits, that are so tiny they almost feel pointless. But these tiny habits, when repeated over time, compound into massive life-changing results. Think about it. Reading one page of a book doesn't feel like you're becoming a genius. Doing 2 minutes of exercise doesn't feel like you're getting fit. Saving a few dollars doesn't feel like you're building wealth. These actions don't feel powerful in the moment. But quietly, consistently, day after day, they are shaping your future. They are the building blocks of who you will become. So today, let's break down 3 powerful ideas from this book that can completely change how you approach building habits and achieving your goals. Forget everything you thought you knew about willpower and motivation. This is about building a system that works for you, not against you. The first and arguably most profound idea is this: your identity is far more important than your goals. This is a huge mental shift. Most people, when they want to change, focus on outcome-based goals. They say things like, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to write a novel. I want to make more money. These are all destinations. They are things you want to achieve. But the book argues that focusing only on goals has a major flaw. Goals don't fundamentally change who you are. The real, lasting change comes from your identity. It's about who you believe you are. So instead of saying, I want to read more books this year, which is a goal, you start telling yourself, I am the kind of person who reads every day. Or even simpler, I am a reader. Instead of chasing a result like a finished book, you embody the identity of someone who naturally gets that result. Here's why this is so powerful. Every single action you take is like a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you choose to read one page instead of scrolling on your phone, you cast a vote for I am a reader. When you put on your running shoes and go for a 2-minute jog, you cast a vote for I am a runner. When you meditate for 1 minute, you cast a vote for I am a calm and mindful person. A single vote won't change the election. One workout won't make you fit. But as you rack up these small wins, these little votes, day after day, you start to build up evidence that this new identity is real. Your self-image begins to shift. You no longer have to force yourself to do the habit because it becomes part of who you are. It feels natural. The book puts it perfectly. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, and your identity is the foundation of that system. So ask yourself, who is the person I want to become? And what is a small action I can take today to cast a vote for that identity? The second game-changing idea is that systems beat motivation every single time. Let's be honest, motivation feels amazing. When you're motivated, you feel like you can conquer the world. But motivation is a feeling. It's an emotion, and like all emotions, it's fleeting. It comes and it goes. You can't rely on it to be there for you at 6 a.m. on a cold, rainy Tuesday when your bed feels incredibly warm. Successful people, as the book explains, don't have some secret, endless supply of motivation. They just have better systems. A system is the process that leads to the result. It's what makes your habits automatic and effortless. Think about your current environment. It's a system, and it's controlling your behavior far more than you realize. If your phone is the first thing you see when you wake up, you will scroll. That's the system. If a bowl of cookies is sitting on your kitchen counter, you will eventually eat one. That's the system. If your guitar is packed away in its case in the back of a closet, you will never practice. That's the system. Your environment is the invisible hand that shapes your human behavior. Willpower is a finite resource. You can't just try harder all the time. It's exhausting. So, instead of trying to force, discipline, and overpower your environment, the smarter approach is to design an environment that makes your desired habits the easy, obvious choice. Want to read more? Don't just rely on remembering. Put a book on your pillow. When you go to bed, it's right there. Want to drink more water? Don't just hope you'll feel thirsty. Fill up a giant water bottle and put it on your desk. Want to stop eating junk food? Don't buy it. The easiest way to break a bad habit is to make it invisible. Out of sight, out of mind. This is about making good habits easy, obvious, attractive, and satisfying. And making bad habits hard, invisible, unattractive, and unsatisfying. You are not changing yourself. You are changing the system around you. And when you change the system, your behavior changes automatically, without needing to dip into your limited reserves of willpower. The third and final powerful lesson from this book is the incredible magic of compounding. Small habits compound like interest in a savings account. On any given day, a 1% improvement is basically meaningless. It's unnoticeable. It doesn't feel like progress. If you get just 1% better at something today, you won't feel any different tomorrow. But if you keep showing up, if you get 1% better every single day for a year, the results are staggering. You'll end up nearly 38 times better by the end of the year. That is the power of compounding. Success isn't one giant leap. It's the sum of thousands of tiny consistent steps. Unfortunately, this works in reverse too. Bad habits also compound, but they do it quietly and insidiously. Eating one unhealthy meal won't ruin your health. Skipping one workout doesn't mean you failed. Spending a little too much money one time won't make you broke. The problem isn't the single action. The problem is the repetition. It's the slow creeping decay that happens when these small, negative choices are repeated day after day. They add up, and one day you wake up and wonder, how did I get here? This principle teaches us that what you do consistently matters infinitely more than what you do occasionally. A marathon runner who trains for 20 minutes every single day will be far more successful than the person who tries to run for 5 hours once a month and then burns out. Consistency is the key. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. So, how do we put all of this into practice? Starting right now. It's actually incredibly simple. The most important rule is this: don't aim for big habits. Aim for habits that are so small, so ridiculously easy, that you can't possibly fail. James Clear calls this the 2-minute rule. Whatever habit you want to build, scale it down to something that takes less than 2 minutes to do. You want to start reading every day? The goal isn't to read a chapter. The goal is to read 1 page. Anyone can read 1 page. Want to start working out? The goal isn't a 1-hour gym session. The goal is to put on your workout clothes and do 2 minutes of jumping jacks. Want to build discipline and write a book? The goal isn't to write 1,000 words. It's to open your document and write 1 sentence. The point isn't the action itself. The point is to show up. The point is to become the person who never misses a day. You are mastering the art of showing up. Consistency will always beat intensity in the long run. Once you've established the habit, once showing up is automatic, then you can worry about improving it. You can read 2 pages. You can work out for 5 minutes, but first, you must establish the root of the habit. The rest will follow. So let's reframe this whole thing. Most people are trying to change their life overnight with a massive burst of effort. This book teaches you a much smarter, more sustainable way. Change who you are, one small atomic action at a time. Cast votes for your desired identity every single day. You don't need more motivation, you need better systems. You need to architect your environment for success. And you need to trust in the power of small, consistent improvements. Because when your habits change, your identity changes. And when your identity changes, your future follows automatically. If this idea changed how you think about building habits and achieving your goals, make sure to subscribe for more practical ideas on self-improvement. Thanks for watching.